some point in the documentary, he even compares himself to God. No. He says he can't be God, and so he's like, the next best thing he could be is Jesus. He's like, have you ever seen me and Jesus in the same room?
He sounds like fucking Kanye West at this point. Like,
yeah, that was very Kanye of him to say. Hey guys! Welcome back to another episode of our podcast.
Double shot of chaos.
We just want to give a special thanks to Dennis for being our first guest last week and for bringing so much knowledge and insight to our episode.
Yeah, and we hope to have a lot more guests in the upcoming episodes, and just all our guests will be bringing a lot of knowledge and a lot of cool experiences to share with you guys. And thank you so much for your support. I know a lot of you guys were giving us feedback and how much you enjoyed the episode, and some of you even knew Dennis, which is crazy. It's a very small world, so we're very happy that it turned out very well. So thank you guys again, and special thanks to Dennis. Mm-hmm. So anything interesting happening this week?
Well, this week, what happened? Well, at work.
Uh-oh.
We're always talking about this place.
Yeah, but sadly. I feel like even whether it's my workplace or her workplace, we spend 80% of our week there, so.
That's true, yeah. But you gotta learn to live with these people.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But at work, it's a regular day. It's the morning time. I'm in the office. My boss asked me to help this new hire fill out his new hire application. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the office. I'm helping him out. I'm translating. This man comes barging into the office. Where's my signs?
Yeah, that is literally how this guy talks. She's not even exaggerating.
Take it down 3 notches and don't yell at me, because who are you yelling at? And then I was like, I'm doing this. I have to do this work. It's not only you. You are not the only person that I have to make signs for, that I have to do things for. Plus, I have my own work. And he's like, signs first! Signs first! And he's like, Jay, say signs first! And I was like, where is Jay? Where is he? And then he's like, signs first! And I'm just like, no! Because my boss told me to do this, so this is what I'm doing right now. Once I'm done with this, I can do your signs. I'll help you. I'll do them. You just gotta wait. But no, he wants everything to be done the second he comes in. He wants you to drop everything you're doing and do whatever he's asking you to do, make whatever sign he needs. And no, that's not. I'm not gonna. You're not a king. You're not God. I'm not gonna treat you like that. So he's over here throwing a whole bitch fit about his signs, and I'm poor fucking new hire. I'm scaring him it's his first day, and I'm here screaming in his face.
People screaming at each other. He's probably yo, fuck this. Let me go find a different job.
But yeah, and he's still screaming at me, and he's like, oh, he said signs first, and I'm like, where is he? He's on fucking vacation. He's not even there. And then I was like, my boss, he told me to do this, and he's like, oh, call him. And so I'm like, okay. I call him on the walkie, and I was like, yo, come get your friend, because I can't stand him. And we're still going back and forth at each other, yelling, and he's like, why are you talking to me like this? Don't talk to me like this. And I was like, don't talk to me like this, and I'm not gonna talk to you like that. Very simple. And then he lowered his voice. Right away, he lowered his voice. He's talking to me now. I was like, you see, you lower your voice, I'm going to lower my voice. Because if you're not yelling at me, then I have no reason to yell.
Yeah, treat others the way you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm. Respect goes both ways, I said before.
It's it's crazy to me, because people feel when they're in a certain position, it could be anywhere, whether it's workplace, even in family, they feel when they're up the hierarchy, they feel they could just do whatever and get away with anything. It's just so annoying.
Not just that, but age. They think just because they're older, they deserve respect.
They deserve respect.
But if you're not giving that respect, you're not getting it. Yeah. At least not from me.
No. Respect is earned, not given. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what he said too? He was like, oh, all the managers are the same. Oh, because I was like, you're not my boss. You can't tell me what to do. And that shit, it got under his skin. I could tell. And then his face changed. He was already upset, but he got pissed. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, you're not my boss. You can't tell me what to do. Like, I listen to Agustin. And he's like, all managers are the same. All managers are managers. And I'm like, no. And then that pissed him off too. He's like, no. And I was like,
poor new hire.
I'm like, yeah, you can't tell me what to do. David can't tell me what to do. Adan can't tell me what to do. Manolo can't tell me what to do because they're not my boss. My boss is Agustin. And then, yeah, but I feel bad for that new hire.
He's probably like, what nutcase am I working at? Well, it's crazy. But like I said, like, people feel like when they're in a certain position, they could just get away with a lot. And unfortunately, people like that, they do.
Well, I feel like everyone in that store, though, or at least a majority of people, because I know a couple of people, too, that don't let him, like...
Yeah, no, that's good.
Disrespect them.
But you just gotta stand your ground and...
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the majority of people there, though, they let him yell at them or disrespect them or just, like, talk to them however he wants. Just because, oh, he's like that. He's just like that.
Yeah.
No.
It takes one person to make a change. So it does,
That's
though.
so inspirational.
Yeah, it does. It does take, like, you know, one person to make a change. And, like, you know, speaking of that, like, have you watched the documentary on Diddy?
Yeah. I did. Did you?
Yeah, I did. Like, any thoughts on it? Because the reason I'm mentioning Diddy's documentary is because, like, what he did, he got away with it for so long, and it literally took like one person to speak up for all his crimes to come to light. That's why I was like, you know, his documentary came out this week, and we know that he got convicted about like 2 months ago for his crime. So it's like the correlation of it, like, you know, people think that they could do whatever and they get away with it, and then in some, you know, cases like Diddy, it's like the power and the fame. They think, you know, they have the money and all that, like they could just do whatever and no one's gonna find out. And like I said, it takes one person to speak up, and now look, he's like the most hated person right now. So what are some of your takes on the documentary that came out of Diddy?
I mean, I thought it was pretty interesting. I like that it was. I didn't know at first that it was directed by 50 Cent until I got.
Yo, I found out. I was like, they were like posting all the TikToks and the memes, like he's a savage and everything.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
50 Cent is my level of petty.
Petty. But yeah, there was like a lot of things like that I just did not know, and I was like, God damn.
There's a lot of things that are still coming out.
Yeah, that's like what it is. Like he thought like he could just get away with it, and it's like all these things are coming to light. To some
extent, he still did, because he didn't get the jail time that he deserved.
No, definitely not. Like 50 months he got, and then they said like out of the 50 months, the 12 months he's gonna. He already served, so it's like 50 minus 12, like 30. He's basically just gonna serve another 38 months.
Yeah.
So which is like what, almost 3 years, and that's it. Like people fucking just go to jail for like over 20 years for like dealing drugs, and this motherfucker did all this. Like, you know.
But that's crazy. I mean, what's coming out now though is the juror.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
How the juror. So basically, you know, one of the jurors that was in the documentary, pictures came out of her. People, you know, went on the internet, like dug everything up, and they found pictures of her and Diddy, like back in the 90s. So she knew him, and she was on the jury. Like, it's not a coincidence that she's on the jury. So now it's like kind of in question how many other people were in the jury that he knew or that he knew was going to be on his side.
But then he already got sentenced, though. It's like, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that works. I went to school really long time ago. I saw something.
Bitch, aren't you studying law?
Bitch, I'm a social worker.
Oh,
I wanted to. So that's why I'm a little like, wait, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't read too much into it because I had like just woken up, and then but it was something with Jay-Z, and I don't know. Like apparently some 13-year-old girl, or she was 13 at the time, that Jay-Z and Diddy, she was asleep, she woke up, and they were both, well, Jay-Z was first, you know.
Oh, it's disgusting.
And then it was Diddy. But I don't know, I didn't read, it said something about a trial, but I don't know if they're retrying the trial.
But yeah, that's disgusting. Like, how do you, like, do that and you have your own kids? Like, I can't never imagine, like, myself doing something like that, and then God forbid, what if someone did that to my own child?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how, forget kids, like, kids are out of the picture. How do you just do that to people? Like, that's That's really gross.
No, of course, but like also like I feel like there's a higher, I guess, precedent to it, because you know, like, you have kids, like, you think, like, okay, oh my god, imagine someone touches my kid, imagine someone does this to my kid, like I think you said this in one of the episodes, like, you would fucking kill a bitch over your kid, so, you know, so you think about that. And
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I remember when the trials were going on, too, when, Cassie Ventura, when she, like, testified against Diddy, and all the things that she said that Diddy made her do, it was just horrifying. Like, I was at work, like, reading it, and I was just like, oh my god, this is disgusting. It's just crazy to me that how he got away with it for so long, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of the Diddy trial, you know what's something funny that
What?
I kind of seen on TikTok? So, if you guys haven't seen the documentary, there's this part where he is waiting for the trial. He's in his hotel room, so he's anxious, and he doesn't know if he's going to be pled guilty or innocent. So, he decides to go into the streets of Harlem, streets where he's born and raised, right? And people are actually receiving him well. They're dapping him up. They're, yeah.
Gross. I would not want him anywhere near me.
Mm-hmm. They're dapping him up. Everyone's, like, asking to take pictures with him and all of that. They're like, I think they even, like, gave him bud. Like, yeah. And then he's acting all cool with everybody, right? Like, giving everybody hugs, this and that. As soon as he gets back into the car, he's like, yo, I need some hand sanitizer right now. He's like, right now, I need to go home. He's like, I need to go take a hot shower. He's like, that water needs to be boiling hot. And I'm just, like, horrified. Like, damn.
And these are the people that actually love you and, like, are giving you all this respect, and this is how you talk about them?
Despite everything that's going on and, you know, the whole trial, everything he's being tried against, he's talking about these people like that, like
they're shit. Like,
exactly.
They're
supporting you.
And this is the place where you were born and raised.
They're supporting you while the whole world hates you. You go back in this car like, yo, I need some hand sanitizer. I need to take a hot bath. And then,
disgusting.
Yeah, and then on TikTok, people are like, you're talking, oh no, he's like, you know what goes on in these streets? Like, you know what goes on in these streets? He's like, I'm like, it's dirty, this and that. And on TikTok, people are saying, you know, you're talking about, oh, you need hand sanitizer, like, you know what's going on these streets, you're so worried about germs, and they're like, you are the germ, like, he is the, he is the disease.
He is.
He literally is. Imagine, I don't know how that man don't got HIV. Yeah.
Like, speaking of Diddy, too, like, another person that kind of reminds me of this case, like, that's going on, Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what he did, too, was just disgusting. Like,
And he got away with it.
Yeah, he got away with it. So, for those who don't know, like, Jeffrey Epstein was, like, someone who was convicted of, like, child trafficking. And I think a couple of months later, he ended up committing suicide in his jail cell, which, I don't know, I have my doubts about.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there was, he could have revealed a lot of names of, like, government higher up officials that were also involved in the child trafficking, and I guess there's been a lot of talk where, like, people silenced him or got him killed, and then it was portrayed to us in the media that he committed suicide, but I don't know. I don't get paid enough to investigate that shit, so.
Don't believe everything you see on the media.
Mm-hmm. But, like, you know, that was someone else, and then his accomplice, like, one of his, I guess, like, his ex-girlfriend, that Maxwell lady, I don't even know how to pronounce her first name, but she was, like, helping him and, like, finding, like, children for him. Like, that's disgusting. Like, fucking go on Tinder or something if you're so desperate. Like, go to a strip club if you want sex. Like, why, like, you know, like, I don't understand, like, the point of this. Like, you're abusing, you know, women and children, like, whether it's Diddy or Jeffrey, like, you're doing all this, like, if you want fucking sex, just go to a strip club or, you know, go to a freaking brothel in Vegas, like, you know, that's what Lamar Odom did, so.
Damn.
Yeah, like,
Poor
I'm not.
Chloe.
Poor Chloe. But yeah, but it's just, I don't know, I don't understand, like, the reasoning behind this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
Men
you know.
are disgusting.
Hmm?
Men are disgusting.
Yeah. Well, the accomplice of Jeffrey Epstein, that bitch was a woman.
Too.
You know?
Even
And she was helping him.
Even Diddy's assistant, like, she saw Cassie, him beat Cassie and everything, and she never spoke up about it or did anything about it until it started happening to her and until he started abusing her. That's when she wanted to speak up.
That's crazy. And then there was, like, I think and I think in the documentary of Diddy, they were saying that a bunch of his classmates.
It went away.
Okay. So with the documentary of Diddy, they said that like a bunch of his classmates like watched him beat the crap out of like his ex-girlfriend outside of like her dorm or something, and no one said anything. So it's like it went back.
I think I missed that part.
Yeah, so it went back to like years of like abuse and
even him starting off like it's. I guess 50 made that documentary to kind of like for everyone to see like the monster that he's been. Like it's not just now. Mm-hmm. He's been that way because even when I don't know if he was starting off or something, but he was in some basketball. It was like a school and it was a basketball tournament. Mm. And then I guess because he showed up, everyone is like trampling all over each other and like people died. So then he's just like, oh, you know, actions must be taken, whatever. But he's so like monotone about it. And then slowly after that, it's kind of like, I don't know, like the power kind of like he liked being in power and everything. And at some point in the documentary, he even compares himself to God. No. He says he can't be God, and so he's like, the next best thing he could be is Jesus. He's like, have you ever seen me and Jesus in the same room? Or
he sounds like fucking Kanye West at this point. Like,
yeah, that was very Kanye of him to say.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just goes to show like when people have like that power and like that fame and money, it's just like they just do whatever they want. They think they can get away with it, and also they like people like of his status. They manipulate, they scare people into silence. Like they blackmail, threaten, whatever they have to do to make sure these, you know, poor workers who, you know, just want to make money and just, you know, want to make ends meet. They blackmail them, they threaten them to the point where, you know, those poor people, they don't say nothing. You know, it's just sad, you know. But I'm very happy that now, like, everyone's starting to see the monster he is. But I'm not happy with our criminal justice system that only gave him 30 months for all that.
That's true.
You know,
30 or 50?
No, they gave him 30 months, but 12 months he already served is going to be counted in it. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, you're right. 50 months, yeah. It was 50 months and 12 months that he served, it will be included. So basically now he has to serve about like 38 months. So it's like a little over 3 years, which is like nothing for what he's been up to. So the craziest thing is, like, I used to think very highly of Diddy because his oldest son, Quincy, when that movie that came out, Brotherly Love, like years and years ago, I started following him, and then I started learning more about him, and Diddy was not even his biological father. You know, when he was, I think, 3 or 4 years old, his mom met Diddy, and Diddy, like, basically treated him like a real son, and unofficially adopted him, and then for his 16th birthday, Diddy threw him like this huge Sweet 16, and it was, I think, featured on MTV and everything. So I was like, oh wow, like I always have like this soft spot for like men who step up and take care of like their stepchildren as like their own kids, because not a lot of men are like that. Like, you know, they're very, you know, like,
not any man is gonna do that.
Yeah, even like, I mean, if
men don't even be taking care of their own kids.
Yeah.
Like, for another man to step in and take care of another man's kid is, like, very, you know, and speaks a lot of their character.
You know, he treats,
except
like, he treats Quincy. What?
Except for Diddy.
Yeah, and then he treats, like, Quincy as his own and stuff. So when I was, like, learning with it, I was like, oh, wow, like, he seems cool, like, this and that. And then I saw, like, this whole dynamic with his oldest son and then the twins and then the middle son and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, but then once I started finding this stuff out, I was like, damn. It was like all like that image I had of him just shattered.
Yeah, even a couple years ago, like, it was slowly coming out, the Justin Bieber thing. Like, since I guess the whole Cassie thing, it's just been so many things unraveling. Yeah. But I feel bad for Justin Bieber. Yeah. Everything he went through. But that wasn't that wasn't included in the documentary, but there's so much
a lot of things, yeah, with Justin Bieber too. And do you remember that time where Justin Bieber was just like he was a fucking mess, like he was getting arrested that's every other day, and like he was I think on like so many drugs. There was like a mugshot that came out, you could tell he was intoxicated or whatever. And I was just like, what the fuck happened to him? And mind you, like, at that time I was in high school, so I was like, oh, you know, the fucking fame got to him and this and that. Like, I was judging him so hard, but then when I found out all these things, I was like, damn, poor kid. He was like 14 when he came into the industry. Imagine all that trauma and abuse that he went through, you know?
Yeah, because it was Diddy that discovered him.
Yeah. And, like, just like grooming him and stuff too. Like it would be traumatic for anyone. So it's like very important to like not judge people, because I made that mistake in high school. But as an adult, like I'm starting to learn, like it's very important to not judge people, and you know to.
You really have no idea what someone is going through.
Yeah, someone could be so like happy and whatever, because Justin Bieber used to be all like, you know, during the award shows or whatever, when we used to see him on TV, like I was like, oh, he's living his best life, this and that, and then like this is what he went through, like outside, you know, of the fame.
He was, I guess, you would say, crashing out. You know, you from an outside perspective, you're just like, oh, this kid is like reckless, this and that. But you don't know what he went through and what he's going through mentally that, you know, is taking them there.
Yeah. And then, because apparently Diddy had, like, custody of him for, like, one day, right? I read something like that. I don't know if that's true or not. So.
It was, like, he got to spend, like, a whole day with Diddy.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was, like, an MTV. I don't know.
Yeah. But like, he had, like, or something like that. Like, his mom signed over custody for, like, one day. So, like, that time they were saying, like, Diddy did whatever he wanted to, which was very sad and horrifying. But, yeah. Well, if you want to be a guest on our show, Justin, and tell your story, let us know.
Yeah, let's bring Haley on the show while we're at it.
Hey, never say never. Like, what if Justin was scrolling through his Instagram, he sees us, and we give him that proposition?
Yeah, come on, Haley, our kids can be besties.
Oh, I forgot about Jack.
Oh, that's his name? I just know it's JJB or JBB.
Yeah, it's like Jack, I think. Jack Bieber or something like that. That's what I saw. So, you know, in addition to, like, Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein, another person that, whose abuse came to light is actually Dan Schneider.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was a couple of years ago. He another doc came out for him, too. I think it was on Hulu, right?
Yeah. So, for those who don't know Dan Schneider, so he was actually a producer of many of, like, my childhood shows.
Same.
So he... so a lot of Nickelodeon shows such as The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victorious, he was like the executive producer or something like that. So he was always given so much recognition because, you know, these shows were like hits. And for those like those early 90 babies, late 90 babies and early 2000 babies, you guys know like those shows were just top notch. So then it just started coming out, like, I think Amanda Bynes came out with the allegation that she was, like, sexually abused or assaulted by, Dan Schneider, and then Drake Bell came out with it, and then Jeanette McCurdy also made claims that she was abused on set, but she never revealed her, her predator. Yeah, she never revealed a name, and, a lot of people just assumed it was Dan Schneider because she did say it was, like, an executive person or whatever, so a lot of people were just like, it has to be him. But he also, like, you know, were abusing these actors for years. And that's why, like, Amanda Bynes, like, if you see Amanda Bynes, like, the mess that she's in right now, it's a lot has to do with the abuse that she suffered from.
Well, right now I think she's doing good. But there was, you know, a moment in time where she was...
Yeah, she was just not in a good place. And like I said, like, people were judging her, too. People were calling her a bunch of names. But it's like, you know, the trauma that she probably went through.
You know that she... I believe she got pregnant, I think, at 14.
Oh.
And she was raped, and it was Dan Schneider's baby. I don't know if that's
true.
Fully. I don't know if she came out with that, but it's like she didn't get pregnant, I believe, at 14.
Damn. Yeah. Like, she imagine, like, being... How old was she in the Amanda Show? She was probably, like, her late teens. And imagine, like, going through that and then just... like trying to be, I guess, like normal for everyone else because you have all these people looking up to you and you're just trying to keep it together, but it just becomes too much sometimes. Same thing with Jeanette McCurdy. Like, Jeanette McCurdy is never going to act again. I mean, I hope she does. She was a very good actor, but she was like, she'd rather be an author, and she was probably traumatized by what she went through. Drake Bell, you know, he was like this. I remember when I was growing up, Drake Bell used to be this hot heartthrob, you know, like it was always Drake over Josh, and he was just, you know, he went through a lot with his alcoholism and all that stuff. So it's just sad, like how people ruin people's lives and just no regards to it.
Not to, like, excuse any behavior either, but when he was, like, abusing also his ex-girlfriend, a lot of people were looking down on him and everything. And that's why that man had to flee to Mexico.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. He's, like, making songs in Spanish and stuff.
Didn't he, like, go missing for, like, a day? Drake Bell. Drake Bell went missing for like one day, and then he was just like, he miraculously appeared. I was just like, what the fuck?
I don't know, but yeah, because you know he was abusing his girlfriend and all of that. But again, you never really know what anyone goes through because what he went through with Dan Schneider is probably what you know ultimately led to him being abusive in that way to his girlfriend too.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also very sad because they were all like young. They were in their teenage years. Yeah. And Dan Schneider kids. They were kids basically. And Dan Schneider, when he was producing these shows, he was like known as like the top dog. So imagine like someone in his position, and at that time, like the early 2000s, Nickelodeon was hot. Like it was thriving. Yeah, it was the biggest thing. And then this man is a producer, and he's like
Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah, like Kids Choice Awards, Teen Choice Awards. Yeah. They had like all these like studios, like the Nickelodeon studio was just like a very big thing. I remember like growing up, I would always hear about it. You know, so like imagine like being like producers on all these top hit shows. And then you're doing this behind scenes, and it's like no one could really speak up because who's gonna believe you? Yeah. You know, like it's like another Harvey Weinstein. You know, when his allegations and abuse came out, like Harvey Weinstein was one of the biggest producers in Hollywood, and he produced a lot of like amazing movies. And if you know, it was just he was abusing actresses and you know. Raping them and sexually assaulting them, and a lot of them, they were just early in their careers and they couldn't say anything because they were just scared that if they speak up against this high exec, like their careers are going to be over. Yeah. You know?
I guess they also threatened them with that too.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. So, you know, like those actresses that he abused, like, you know, they needed a career. They, I guess, made the ultimate sacrifice, which I feel like they shouldn't have, you know. But listen, I'm not judging, but I feel like, I'm just saying in general, they shouldn't have. Yeah. Like, that was not fair to them. They, you know, but it's just disgusting what Harvey Weinstein did. Like, you know, so.
Yeah. Even with power, too, like Britney Spears, how, her family?
Her dad. Her dad. I don't know if her dad abused her or not, but her dad had power over her, and he was like making all these decisions and stuff like that, and like
controlling her life, her
business, and taking her money. Mind you, she worked hard for her money, and you know, Britney Spears, like, you know, she's just like going through it, and because of all that trauma that she went through with her parents, you know, so
all on Instagram, her dancing videos. Yeah, but it's sad.
It's sad. It's really sad. And then the fact that I remember when I was like in school, I heard about like a thing with her son or something, and she locked her and her son like in a room, and she was like threatening like the baby daddy or whatever, and she would not open the door, and I think she was supposed to give the son back to the dad, and she just locked both of them in the room, and she had like a whole mental breakdown, and it's just can't imagine, like I'm saying, like as an adult, I just can't imagine like going through something like that. It's very sad, and you just don't know what these people are going through, and it's just like sometimes, like, you know, a lot of it, it's like a lot of the topic is mental health. Like they definitely need that support, and you know, even back in those days, like mental health was not as talked about as it is now. So
it wasn't looked, I guess. In reality, it's a lot more necessary than people think. Yeah.
It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was looked down upon back in the day, but I think it was just wasn't spoken about as much as it's now.
I feel like put it this way, I feel like before, back in the day, to see a therapist, there had to be something wrong with you.
Yeah. It was a very difficult to have, you know, to go see a therapist, and there wasn't that many therapists back in the day. Like it was very hard to find a therapist. Now it's like nowadays, like even there's so many therapists. There's mental health counselors, there's licensed mental health I think coaches or something like that. There's social workers, clinical psychologists. So everyone, like all of the above, they provide therapy, you know, for a lot of individuals, and I think that's, you know, amazing thing to do, because therapy has saved a lot of, you know, lives. So we're evolving, I think, with all these scandals coming to light, whether it's Harvey Weinstein, it's Jeffrey Epstein, Dan Schneider, Diddy, I think, you know, this is just a great start, and I think we just have to keep, like, going and getting these animals out of our streets.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot. Unfortunately, it's more than you know. But the one thing that I would say, just be aware and just always, like, try to speak up and do the best we can, you know. I know it's easier said than done. Don't, you know, like, it's not gonna be easy, but this is just a way to protect, you know, ourselves and our families at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully something changes in New York, because here you get locked up and you're free the next day.
For real. It's just crazy. Alright. So, thank you guys so much for joining us for our episode. Please comment, subscribe, connect with us. I put our socials in the description.
Follow us on Instagram. We have TikTok.
Yeah, and let us know if there's any other topics or whatever you guys want us to talk about. And, you know, we'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
Bye. Bye.